What's going on, people? Supporting Bandicoot, Cambridge for Naruto Chapter 682. Now, quick summary of the chapter. Sasuke uses Maratsu on Kaguya and she meets into its orbit. Then Naruto jumps to the air, uses Shadow Clone Jutsu, and then uses reverse sexy harem jutsu, which is a male version of his normal jutsu. So it appears to then catch Kaguya by surprise, capture off guard, and then Naruto manages to land a punch. Then Naruto and Sasuke proceed to try and seal her, which immediately reality walks into an ice world and then puts them both in like this kind of glacier ice forms, and then immediately walks herself away from them. Then Sasuke uses a Maratsu in some kind of spike formation and manages to break them out of the ice. Naruto thanks him for this. Then Black Zetsu says to Kaguya that they have to separate them in order to beat them. So Kaguya sends Black Zetsu through a tiny dimensional portal behind her, which then appears behind Sasuke. And then a hand comes out, which appears to be Black Zetsu, and grabs Sasuke into this next desert dimension. And that's the end of the chapter. So, let's get to this video. First thing I've got to talk about is Naruto's reverse sexy harem jutsu. The fact that it worked, I would say, for kind of bias, because it kind of makes sense, because Kaguya's obviously been away for a long time. She hasn't seen the male physical form in all its glory in a long while. So, it would catch any woman off guard like that, to be fair. That means it's a playing woman, but it would catch anyone off guard, really. I mean, even Manaro, like, what the hell are you doing, Naruto? And that would have caught him off guard for a split second. That split second, obviously, allowed Naruto land his punch. Well, then, the fact that he was in there, and it's just a grand scheme battle, throwing that in there, it's typical of Naruto as the #1 knucklehead ninja. You would have thought he would have grown and matured, he would be using childish, pathetic juices like that. But the fact that it worked, I can't really complain, but I don't think it should have been thrown in there, but I can understand why, because past chapters have been pretty serious. I mean, obviously, Black Zetsu explaining history of what happened last week and everything. So I suppose Kishimoto needed that comical value in there, trying to keep it a bit funny. So he threw it in there, kind of comical. Obviously, of course, because we had Sakura really enjoying it, but saying it was so stupid. But I would have thought personally should have preferred the sexy harem jutsu version of all Sasuke's, not some random guys. But so she didn't bother the same way. I mean, she's a woman, she has got needs at the same time. I think that made me laugh was Cash was actually there. I think it's gonna work. He's like, because there's always thing in anime manga when they're like, are you watching someone like, it's like, are you watching Dry Sensei? Naruto's Child of Prophecy, you will do this, like, that plan was actually gonna work. So I think Kashi was actually building up a bit too much there, because obviously we knew it was never actually gonna work. I mean, if it had worked and the war ended like that, it would have been, people would have been surprised as how. I mean, Mano got took out by Kaguya in such an epic kind of crazy twisted way, but for Kaguya to get beaten like that would have been actually ridiculous. So obviously it's never gonna work, but still kind of comical at the same time. Okay, next talking point. Kaguya's relative warping abilities. So, as she can end of the chapter, that she can even warp people to other dimensions without her being there herself. So, as we see the end of the chapter, Sasuke's in some kind of desert dimension, and I'm assuming obviously he's with Black Zetsu, because Black Zetsu said that means to separate them, obviously take them one-on-one. So, it's like something with Black Zetsu and Sasuke in that desert world. But Kaguya and Naruto are still in the ice world, so she can separate all the beings in other dimension not being herself. So that's a really powerful ability. I mean, even Manara, as I said, wasn't doing that. And we could say that maybe he could do, but what was the point? But I would have thought, when he was fighting Guy Sensei, he could have easily walked into another dimension, so we could have that one-on-one fight, no interruptions, so it would have been more of a one-on-one battle, as opposed to everyone helping Guy Sensei at the end, just getting that last hit kind of thing. But, as I'm saying, so Manara probably didn't have that kind of ability, but he still was powerful anyway at the stage. But obviously, as has been stated, Kaguya is more powerful than what Manara was, so she would have more powerful abilities. That reality warping is ridiculous, really powerful. And let's talk point. When we see Black Zetsu or grab Sasuke throughout that dimension form, see actually it's got more of a human hand. So I'm assuming that Black Zetsu has an original human form, which you might see next week. So when Black Zetsu fights Sasuke, you're probably going to see his new form, or his human form, hopefully, because we've already seen what obviously Kaguya's sons look like. Obviously, the sages we know has got rocking the Rinnegan with Sharingan, and his brother is rocking the Byakugan. So it's interesting to see if Black Zetsu is rocking. I don't think he's rocking some kind of other eye technique, but just seeing what it's like anyway, maybe he's got a mixture of the two, or we don't know, because we haven't seen the human form of him, of course. All we've seen are the sage endings. We haven't seen. We only heard about this third son last week, so actually seeing what it looks like is going to be pretty interesting next week. So overall, that's all to say about the chapter, really. It's an okay chapter. Kishimoto tries to throw in a bit of community value in the middle there. It's kind of funny. Some people might be heavily annoyed because it was just such a serious fight. Why they're throwing that in there? But I personally enjoyed it. So next week, looking forward to Black Zetsu for Sasuke, see what's going to happen there. And then, the thing with Naruto and Kaguya, the fact that it was taking Sasuke and Naruto to even close to her, I can't see Naruto really holding it down, it's probably going to get wastelanded. So I'm thinking, might draw for the best jutsu in the whole Naruto verse, taught on the jutsu. So if you draw for taught on the jutsu, you might have a chance still. But whether it work on Kaguya or not, I really doubt it. So I'll be interested to see what Naruto can pull out next week. So yeah, overall I'd say it's okay chapter. So that's the video. So like the video, give me a like please. Want to subscribe to the channel. I'm doing Naruto Bleach and One Piece chapter reviews. And please leave a comment in the description below, or in the comment section below. We'll talk about the chapter. That's me, Slink Bandicoot out.